you ever heard a theory so ridiculous that you just have to stop and think, wait, people actually believe this? Let's start with the classic one and watch how it gets worse. Number 1, the Earth is flat. You'd think that in 2025, with satellites, plane travel, and actual curvature that you can see of the horizon, we'd all be on the same page that the Earth is a sphere, right? Wrong. There's a group of people called flat earthers who are convinced that the Earth is actually a flat disk, and that NASA, pilots, and literally every scientist ever, all over the globe, are in on some giant cover-up. They claim that gravity isn't real, that Antarctica is actually a giant ice wall holding in the oceans, like something out of Game of Thrones, great show, and that space itself is just an illusion. But here's the kicker. Flat earthers still use GPS, which literally relies on satellites orbiting the Earth. Make it make sense for me, please. Number 2, the moon landing was fake. Speaking of space, let's talk about another one. The idea that the 1969 moon landing was staged. Yeah, according to some conspiracy theorists, Neil Armstrong never took one small step for man at all, because NASA apparently filmed the whole thing on a Hollywood sound stage. Their evidence? Shadows in the photos that don't line up, a waving American flag despite there being no wind in space, and the fact that Stanley Kubrick supposedly directed the whole thing. Because, if you're faking a moon landing, you might as well hire the guy who made 2001: A Space Odyssey. Of course, this theory falls apart the moment you remember that the Soviet Union, America's biggest rival at the time, was watching NASA's every move and definitely would have called them out if it were fake. But hey, logic isn't really a strong point for conspiracy theorists. 3, birds aren't real. Wait, this is real? Holy smokes, this is really funny. There's a conspiracy that birds aren't real, that they're all replaced by government surveillance drones in the 1970s. And no, this is not a meme. Though it started as one, there are actual people who go around claiming that pigeons, sparrows, and even seagulls are just robots with cameras for eyes. So apparently, every time a bird lands on a power line, it's recharging. Every time a pigeon stares at you in the park, it's watching you. And when a bird poops on your car, a software malfunction? Of course, the funniest part is that these people often have pet birds, and they still believe this? Like, do they think their pet parrot is just some high-tech AI program to say, Polly wants a cracker and please feed me? All the while secretly sending data to the government? Number 4, here's a good one. The Titanic never sank. Now, if you thought birds being spies was ridiculous, wait to hear this one. There's a conspiracy that the Titanic never actually sank. Instead, people claim it was swapped with its sister ship, the Olympic, as a part of some insurance scam. The idea is that the Olympic was already damaged, and why Starline, the company that owned the Titanic, decided to secretly switch the two ships, sink the faulty one and cash in on the insurance money. Here's the problem. First of all, thousands of people died that night. Are we supposed to believe they were all actors? Second, why would a company risk the most famous ship in the world for an insurance scam when they could have just, quietly sunk an old cargo ship instead? Like, why all the drama? It's like someone sat down and thought, you know what the Titanic story needs? More drama. Whatever, let's move on to some truly next level nonsense. Number 5, Finland doesn't exist. Yeah, you heard that right. There are people who genuinely believe that Finland isn't real, it's just fairy powder. According to this theory, Japan and Russia made Finland up as a part of some elaborate Cold War fishing deal. The idea is that the country of Finland is actually just an open ocean, and Japan has been secretly fishing there for decades while the world pretends an entire country exists. Oh, and apparently all Finns are just in on it. Like, every Finnish person you've ever met is either an actor, a government agent, or someone who has been brainwashed into believing they live in a country that doesn't exist. I would love to see someone who believes this try telling that to an actual Finnish person that their home is not real. Like, buddy, sorry to break it to you, your entire life is a lie. Now, hand over the sushi Russia's been hiding. Number 6, the Denver airport is secretly a bunker. Now, if you've ever been to Denver International Airport, it makes sense, because if you have, you might have noticed it's a little weird. Like, it's huge. It has creepy murals with apocalyptic themes, and there's a giant demonic blue horse statue outside that literally killed its creator. So, naturally, some people think the whole airport is secretly an Illuminati bunker. Little spooky, the theory is that underneath the airport, there's a massive underground city where the world's elite will hide out when the apocalypse happens. Supposedly, there's some hidden tunnels, coded messages in the artwork, and even runways shaped like a swastika, which, to be fair, does look a little suspicious from the air. But let's be real, if the Illuminati were actually doing something, do you think they'd choose an airport? The one place where there's literally millions of people pass through every year? Yeah, no. Try again, conspiracy theorists. Number 7, the government controls the weather. Alright, this one is straight out of a supervillain's playbook. Some people believe that the US government, or maybe even a shadowy world government, has developed weather control technology. Meaning hurricanes, droughts, earthquakes, and even wildfires are all manufactured on purpose. At the center of this theory is HAARP, High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, a research station in Alaska that studies the ionosphere. Conspiracy theorists are convinced that HAARP is actually a giant weather weapon used to create natural disasters at will. Look, I'm all for a good sci-fi story, but if the government really could control the weather, wouldn't they have just stopped climate change by now? Or I don't know, made it rain money instead of hurricanes? Number 8, chemtrails are poisoning us. You ever look up and see those white streaks in the sky left behind airplanes? Yeah. Well, according to some people, those aren't normal cone trails from jets. No. Those are chemtrails. They're full of chemicals designed to poison us, control our minds, and even alter the weather. The theory goes like this. The government is secretly spraying unknown chemicals into the atmosphere, and those long white clouds behind the planes are proof of their evil plan. Well, what's really happening, folks? Those streaks are literally just condensed water vapor from jet fuel exhaust, but nope. People insist that every plane in the sky is actually part of a mass poisoning operation. If this were true, wouldn't pilots and flight attendants also be affected? Are they all secretly immune? Or maybe they just get handed little anti-chemtrail pills before every flight. Number 8, oh, this is a fun one. Reptilian overlords. Okay, yes, this is a very fun fan favorite among conspiracy theorists. There's a belief that shape-shifting lizard people secretly rule the world. Yes, lizards. According to this theory, some of the most powerful people on the planet, including politicians, billionaires, and even celebrities, aren't actually human. They're reptilian aliens in disguise manipulating world events from behind the scenes. The idea was made popular by David Icke, a former sports broadcaster who basically turned into a full-time conspiracy guy. He claimed that these lizard overlords have been controlling humanity for thousands of years. Their goal is world domination. And get this, believers will pause TV interviews, frame by freaking frame, trying to catch moments where a politician's eyes supposedly glitch into reptile mode. Because obviously, if you're an ancient alien running the world, you definitely forget to turn off your lizard filter on live TV. And it only gets weirder from here. Number 10, the Large Hadron Collider opens portals. Yes, the LHC, the world's most powerful particle accelerator used by scientists to smash atoms together and study the universe. Sounds super cool, right? Well, not if you ask conspiracy theorists. They believe that CERN, the organization behind LHC, is secretly trying to open portals to other dimensions, or even worse, create many black holes that could swallow up the Earth. I mean, some claim that the machine is summoning demons, while others think it's a secret government experiment to merge our reality with alternate universes. Scientists literally just want to study physics, but sure, let's go ahead and assume they're playing Jumanji with the fabric of reality. Number 11, COVID-19 was a 5G plot. During the COVID-19 pandemic, conspiracy theorists had a field day. One of the dumbest ideas to come out of it was that 5G towers were causing the virus. The theory was that the radiation from 5G networks was somehow making people sick, and that COVID was just a cover-up for a government plan to control the population. It got so bad that people literally started burning down 5G towers in different countries, thinking they are saving humanity. Never mind the fact that COVID spread in places without 5G, or that viruses and wireless signals have about as much in common as a goldfish and a toaster. But hey, logic is not a strong suit for these people. Number 12, the Mandela effect is proof of a parallel universes. Now, I'll admit the Mandela effect is actually really interesting. It's when a large number of people remember something differently than how it actually happened. For example, people swear that the Bernstein Bears, being spelled Bernstein Bears, or that Pikachu tails used to have a black tip, it never did. Or that Darth Vader said, "Luke, I am your father." He actually said, "No, I am your father." Some say this is just false memories, but others believe it's proof that we're constantly shifting between parallel universes, as if we're all just hopping timelines like a bad sci-fi movie. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm all for multiverse travel to be real, but if our biggest proof of alternate dimensions is how we remember a children's book title, I think we might need a stronger case.